Game Plus. We are a retro gaming podcast where three guys spend 7 days playing one old game and then we talk about it. My name's Dustin.
My name is Kenny.
Nolan.
And this is episode 336, and we are continuing our summer pool party. Splash. And hot dogs, right, Nolan?
What are you talking about? Why are you talking about hot dogs, weirdo?
I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about hot dogs. Are any of you getting pruny?
I've been pruny. What happens if you just stay? Like, does your whole body turn into that prune?
So,
yeah.
Prunization is what they call it, is actually like is where your body is slowly turning inside out, and so if you stay in longer than that, your full body will eventually turn out. So your epidermis, that's skin, is on the inside, and your muscles and internal organs will be on the outside.
I'm glad you're good at anatomy.
That happened to my brother once.
Yes, Todd. Wait, this game that we're playing today, or that we played this last week, or at least tried, was not a summer pool party game. But if you would like to be a part of our summer pool party, which we're doing for the entire summer, June and July at least, every other week, then you can visit us at patreon.com/NGP podcast. And for as little as $5, you can join the pool party. But for now, boys, I want to start off this episode by doing this. Close your eyes.
I don't trust you.
I
Close your eyes.
know.
I can't do anything to you. All right, I want you to picture with me that you've been stranded on a desert island.
Okay.
Tropical weather. No, just don't talk. Tropical weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's balmy. Your coconuts in the trees, sand all around, and all you have is one video game to play for what might be the rest of your life. What game would you select to be your desert island game?
So there's electricity.
There's electricity.
A CRT.
There's it depends on the game that you select. There's no internet though, so whatever way that you bring the game, you can have it fully, modded, upgraded, those kinds of things. But
there's no internet.
There's no internet. You can't
yes, there is.
No, there's not.
No, there's
internet
on this island.
No,
I won't use it for that. I swear. I just need it for the game.
No, I don't believe you.
I swear I won't try to get off. I just need it to play the game.
Answer in whatever way you feel necessary.
Okay.
I also said you can open your eyes, but you can also keep them closed.
He's living there.
I pick with internet. Path of Exile. Like easily.
Okay.
And less fun.
How is Path of Exile without internet? Have you tried it?
Well, it's thematic, number one. You start that game washed up on a beach. You're in exile. Number two, I play it all the time, and it's my favorite game. So it's Path of Exile.
Is that why you've stopped talking to me recently?
I haven't stopped talking to you.
We
I
don't
talk
talk
to you
day to day.
every single day.
No, we don't.
That's a little bit why.
No, it's not.
Is it hurting your marriage?
No.
A little bit.
No.
So defensive. All right, so you're playing Path of Exile, but with no internet. I don't know how that's going to work. All right.
I do have internet.
Kenny, what's your game?
I'm forced to choose right now.
Yeah, Kenny. And you
no,
can't
later
ask
in the
any other
episode,
questions.
randomly.
And no internet for real?
For real, no internet.
That's the guy that just said he has it.
That's only for me because I paid extra. I paid extra for the tropical island.
All right.
Okay, it would either be Tetris or Civilization 6.
Tetris is such a bad
Civ
answer.
6 is a way better answer
Yeah.
than Tetris. I love Tetris.
I almost said Tetris, just as like a knee-jerk something that's
You
quick
didn't
and
almost
easy.
say it. You did say it. You said Tetris.
But I mean, I almost just said it. Because replayable and whatever else. But I would want something in this case that's single player that would distract me for long periods of time and just like churn up hours of keeping me distracted from how terrible the island is.
And it's like 10
And
out of 10 replayable. Like, that's a good game.
Yeah, Civ 6 fits the bill.
Yeah.
And it's not a terrible island. You should have selected a dungeon crawl.
I
It's
almost said DCSS, but I was afraid you guys would have given me so much flack.
So we've got Path of Exile, we've got Tetris. My answer, the easy answer is Final Fantasy VII. I'm not gonna say that because that's a boring answer. And eventually,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get tired of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, after like 7 replays, you would be over it, and you're not getting off the island.
And I feel like I would want a game that I can play casually or in depth. You know, like you
Yes.
want. Because you're not always in the exact same mood when it comes to the video game.
Yeah,
that you
you'll
wanna
want to
play.
speed run
Sure.
it sometimes. Other times you'll want to go slow.
I also thought a survival game would be illuminating and maybe it'd help me get
Thematically
off
appropriate.
maybe it'd help me get off the island.
Yeah.
But I haven't played many survival games before, or at least that kind of survival game. So my answer is The Sims 2.
Why 2?
That's just the one that I prefer and that I spent the most time.
Okay.
in. But
Yeah.
there's endless replayability when it comes to The Sims.
Yeah.
You can always have a new family. You can always marry a new person. You can always do a new occupation.
New sex robot.
You got a whole island to go build stuff and create.
Not a
Why you-
family.
I mean, maybe you do.
You marry Coconut.
You haven't explored your island. You're too busy playing Sims 2.
I told you it's a deserted island. Only you were there, and your game, and internet for Nolan, apparently.
Yes.
Okay, this will never happen. It was just fun. I don't know if
Don't
it'll
say
never happen.
never.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't know.
It might. It will probably not happen, but it is incredibly important that we have this conversation so we can plan it all out.
Just ridiculous.
No, it's not.
I
Just
hate
ridiculous.
everything.
Earth.
Wind.
Okay.
No,
the right
that's
order?
not next. I'm
Go
not.
ahead.
No.
Kenny.
I'm not doing it.
Water.
I'm not doing it.
Fire.
Fire. I did
Acid.
it.
No. There's one more.
Chicken juice.
And it's here in your chest. We'll all say it together.
No,
3,
Nolan has to say it.
2, 1. Heart.
Long.
I get our retro game of the week. Captain
Lung.
Planet and the Planeteers.
Overview.
Captain Planet and
He's
the
our hero.
Planeteers gonna take pollution down to 0.
Yes.
He
failed at that.
I mean, we don't need to get into
What are y'all
lore.
talking about?
Pollution is still around, and it's a very bad thing.
Global warming is a reality, so Captain Planet, the show, didn't work.
I don't
Yes.
know what that is.
Nolan, this was before your time.
Yeah.
Because you're a youngin', so
Mm-hmm.
you don't care about the Earth.
True.
Captain Planet was a TV show, early 90s, that was 100% every kid's like action fantasy combined with like weird eco values. And it was spun off into a video game, a series of video games, actually. We played one this week on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game, not this game, but other games by the same name also came out at a similar time on the Amiga, on really all of the systems that were out. The Spectrum, there was a Sega Mega Drive version of the game that came out. This week we played the Nintendo Entertainment System version of the game, which was 100% not the game I would have expected. As when you jump in and get into it, it's basically a shoot 'em up slash, I don't know, platforming shoot 'em up. I don't know what you would call the Captain Planet portions of the game, but that loosely follows the story of the TV show. The normal villains, you got Greedly Hoggish and all of the, I think that's his name.
Wait,
you've
wait.
got
It is.
Duke
Wait.
Duke
Duke
Nukem,
Nukem.
which that's a whole nother conversation. And a whole bunch of other villains that are themed after like planetary destruction and the like.
You
Nolan,
know
you've
that-
got a finger raised.
You know that this show sucks, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I know this sucks.
No, listen.
I've looked at it, and I've thought, There are cartoons that were before this that made it to me because they were good and stuck around. If this came on, I'm clicking it off immediately. He looks stupid.
He doesn't look
Y'all
great.
gonna defend him?
Well, no, he doesn't look
I
great.
mean, he's Captain Planet.
It was a product of its time, and it was
absolutely
great.
was.
It was great in the early 90s.
Yes.
Okay, so he is all about saving. He's like, don't litter, right? Like that's his thing. Is like, don't litter.
Yeah, basically.
And, like water your plants.
Save the dolphins, the turtles.
I mean, water your plants less, probably.
So
We're saving the world, not
that's boring.
destroying it.
Says the Gen Zer that
I'm not a
thinks
Gen Z.
that you're not going to like the ozone's not going to melt away in your time. So live it up. It'll
No,
be your
I don't think that.
great-grandchild's problem.
No, I think I like global warming. I mean,
Whoa, no!
So-
I'm aware of it.
Whoa,
But-
Nolan, true or false, you use aerosol hairspray and don't feel guilty about it.
No, I do not use hairspray. I do, however, use plastic straws.
Ooh. Okay, good conversation. We need to put it out on the air. Who cares what people think about us? What is the most polluting thing that you do? What's the thing that you do that makes Captain Planet most angry?
Fart.
First of all, you're disgusting. Don't say the F word on the podcast.
I mean, I don't know. I don't do that stuff. I don't litter.
Yeah, and you're down to one car.
Yeah, and I recycle. I don't do bad stuff.
Recycling really doesn't do much in America, to be honest.
It does some. Cardboard
Do it.
does.
Yeah, do it.
And aluminum.
Kenny, can you think of something?
Yeah, I don't know. Not really. I mean,
I've
I'm sure
seen
a
you-
lot of things I do are terrible. I fly on airplanes and drive a car and exist as a normal person in America these days, but I don't like go out of my way to, you know,
I've seen you throw a
I don't-
can on the ground.
I don't hunt what. Whoa. I do a lot of things, but litter is not it. I'm the guy that brings trash bags with me and cleans up other people's crap
Look
because
at you.
there are bad people in the world and
Wait.
don't make a mess.
Wait, so Dustin's the worst of us.
Probably. I mean, I don't try to be. I think the worst thing that I do is like I get like a pack of cans, Sody Pop, and I'll cut a little bit of or like I'll pull the the plastic round things off, and then I'll take it to my local ocean and I throw it out into the ocean.
That's not that
still-
bad.
You don't
Probably
have a
the
local ocean, and that's not a
Got
good
local
joke.
ocean.
Yes,
That's not that bad.
terrible.
That
Your
I do
neighborhood
use-
ocean?
I do use hairspray, but
That's bad. That is
I
bad.
I use it inside. I don't use it outside.
It gets out.
No, it's not the problem. Is it aerosol or is it the squirt kind?
It's aerosol.
You use the aerosol stuff? Okay, yeah, you hate the Earth. You are a Captain Planet villain.
Okay, well, that's the way that it's got to be. Did you know? So Nolan, you're talking negative about the show. I get it for someone that doesn't know about it, but let me tell you a few of the voice actors that were on
Sure.
the animated series, and you
Okay.
tell me if the people of the time thought it was cool or not.
I'll tell you if it's an L or a W.
Okay, LeVar Burton
W.
was one of the voices. Whoopi Goldberg,
W.
Tim Curry,
W.
Meg Ryan.
Tim Curry?
Yes.
You're lying.
No, Meg Ryan also. I said
Meg Ryan's
big
an L.
names were on the show.
Meg Ryan's an L. That's actually really weird that those big names were voicing this stupid looking thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't save it for me. Sorry.
It was a big deal. It doesn't have the legs that like Ninja Turtles did or whatever.
No.
It certainly was a little self-aware of how heavy-handed it was and was way too heavy-handed on the themes, but really was a fun show in its time. And I'm sorry that you missed out on it, but you got a taste of it this week at least
Did you?
in the video game adaptation.
So there. I don't know if you mentioned this, Kenny, but the one that we're playing is on the NES. There
I did,
were a
yeah.
few different versions of it that came out on different consoles that did play differently.
Yes.
I don't think either of you played the Genesis or the like earlier like Amiga.
I
NES.
didn't, but just sort of read about them this week.
Yeah.
I think some of them are like platformers where you actually play as the different characters, the Planeteers themselves.
Yeah.
So very different than the game we played this week.
Okay. And then, do you want to like just lay out the really good story here, or?
I mean, choose one. It's 5 levels, and each level, one of the typical villains, I don't even remember all of their names, we mentioned a few, are just doing bad, polluty, earth-killing kinds of stuff. You gotta save some animals at a national park at one point. You gotta fly through the ocean in a ship. No one actually cares.
Gameplay.
So I already said briefly that this basically is a shoot-'em-up. At least it sort of starts that way. And we'll get into some of the other kind of like modes of this game as well. But that was not what I was expecting. And surprised me that you jump into this and you're immediately flying around on a ship shooting stuff.
Well, Kenny, in your first play, you saw, like, if you don't press anything on the, you see a little bit of the gameplay first, so you saw that there was going to be something in a ship, probably. I don't know if it registered, but you saw that. I didn't, and so I started the game, and when I'm thrust into a side-scrolling shooter at first...
You got happy.
No, I didn't, because that was
You
like...
love that genre.
I knew if Captain America was going to be a side-scrolling
Planet!
shooter... I gotta quit saying
America.
Because Captain Planet, one of the big creeds of his is that he works for the entire planet, not just one continent. In fact, all of the kids that are able to summon him are from different places around the world. Sorry if you didn't know that.
What do you mean? How do they summon him?
Okay.
They're multicultural. Yeah, we gotta school you.
We did this at the beginning, and we screamed out the different elements. And those elements are from a variety of rings that certain kids around the world wield.
So they're like
the
airbenders.
This was the precursor to Ong.
No,
doing
it's
his
not.
thing. I'm just kidding on that pronunciation. So you've got Kwame, who is from Africa, and he has the power of Earth.
Okay.
You've got Wheeler, who is from Brooklyn, and he controls fire.
Okay.
He's also got red hair, of course. You've got Linka, who's from the Soviet Union in the first 2 seasons, and then Eastern Europe in the final seasons.
Okay.
And Linka
political.
Linka has the power of wind. You've got G, hailing from Asia, and she controls water. And then finally you have Mati, who's from Brazil, and Nolan. Mati has the ring of heart.
What does that mean? Heart?
Heart? We never knew, really?
Oh, no.
We never really knew.
I think in the show it allowed them to talk to animals. Allowed him to talk to animals. So he had a pet spider monkey that was awesome.
Okay.
It was basically
That's crazy.
He was all about empathy and like understanding people.
So,
but yes, he could control animals.
Here's something else I need to know from you.
Okay.
What do all of them do in this game?
Oh, in this video game we play?
In this video
In
game.
this
that we
video
played,
game, they're the ones flying the ship. But yes, they do basically nothing.
They are not
like
they're
actually.
in cutscenes, maybe.
Okay.
Right, they're in cutscenes, and then they hold up their
Cutscenes.
rings to summon Captain
Yes.
Planet.
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about swapping between the 5 in the ship.
Oh, you mean like their powers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Those
all-
actually do a lot of things.
I mean, no, they don't.
I mean,
Not really. Wait, what does Heart do? It sends a beam down to do what?
right, which doesn't
You
make
didn't
sense until a later stage.
Yeah, you didn't get far enough into the game to need heart.
But that's not your fault. This game has a lot of problems. Starting with it starts as a side-scrolling shooter. I mean, that's the first problem.
It's so random.
okay.
It doesn't fit.
It starts as a side-scrolling shooter and a side-scrolling shooter, I can't speak,
Wow.
that is impossible to beat.
Yeah, for a
Yes.
couple reasons. Listen, okay, everything kills you.
In one hit.
Everything.
It's like
Including
everything.
nothing sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
Sometimes
you'll just
stuff just gets too close to you and you die. It doesn't even hit you.
Your hitbox is massive. You'll find in the first play, Kenny. Actually, you did get hit. There are, for whatever reason, invisible ships on the first stage.
Yeah,
So they'll
why?
be invisible for a few frames before they come back into visibility.
Is that canon?
No, I don't know. It is now.
Invisible ships.
It is now. So
Ah.
everything kills you. You do have varying meters that you can change and use the abilities in your EcoJet. That's
All
what it's called,
suck.
by the way.
They all suck.
And the first one that it's preset on is fire, and so that's your typical forward
Yeah, that's your
Shoot.
shooter. Yep. Pew pew.
And then your other abilities do other things that are bullet related typically.
Yeah,
all terrible.
mostly. Water is sort of a joke, and heart is also sort of a joke. But
Okay.
your
that's two.
earth power is actually super convenient when you've got
Is that the
enemies
rock?
on the ground shooting
the
at
rock.
you. Yeah,
Terrible.
that's the rock where it like
Terrible.
lobs them down. It's kind of like bombs for you to hit stuff on the ground. And the wind power is stinking OP. It just drains your bar so fast that you never want to actually
Right.
use it.
Right.
By the way, it's a shared meter. So like
Yeah,
every
guys.
time it's not a health meter, it's your ability
It's
meter. So
energy.
anytime you shoot or use that ability, it takes away on those ticks of the meter, and it's all shared. And the way that you switch between them
Oh my God.
is out of all buttons, it is NES. You only have A, B, and start and
but
select
still.
in your D-pad. And they selected start,
The
not
start
select.
button.
The start button.
Why they got those backwards is
swapped them.
beyond me. It
I
would have
swear it
been
was an
so
accident.
easy to make it a select button,
Nope.
and it makes
Nope.
sense. And
'Cause
the
the
start
select-
button be the pause. But
It's
no,
select.
your select button is the pause,
Right.
and your start button is the weapon swap. It was a terrible choice.
They mixed it up, and instead of going back and fixing it, they were like, "Yeah."
I don't think they mixed it up. I think they did it on purpose. We played a game
Yeah, we did.
before that also did that, and I don't know what the
It was maybe
reasoning for
worse.
that
I don't
is,
remember.
but it's a bad reasoning when you've got a button that you called select and you don't use it to select your different abilities. It's absolutely insane. I've got the manual, the paper manual pulled up,
Okay.
and it explains what each elemental power does on both the outside and the inside sections.
Actually printed on paper.
Yes, Kenny,
Because
I've got the
that's
actual one. I
wasteful.
paid $1,000 for it, and I don't care about the environment. We already said that. Okay.
Tell me
I
what
just
it
want
says.
to give you a few. So for if we haven't explained, we're going to mainly talk about this side-scrolling shooter because that's about as far as we got. I did get a little bit further. Kenny at least watched a little bit further. Nolan didn't play anymore, I would assume.
No.
But
I
like,
played further.
there are 5 stages, and they each have an outdoor and an indoor component. Outdoor,
yeah.
you're in the EcoJet, and that's what we've been talking about. Indoor, you're Captain Planet. We'll get there. But let me give you a few descriptions. Fire, outside, it shoots fireballs. Easy. Inside,
Right.
it breaks or destroys things. Easy.
Right.
And that is kind of how the rest of these are set up. That like, hey, on the outside, water shoots waves. On the inside, you use it to get past toxic gas. Okay, great. But then it gets down to heart. And for both the outside and the inside, the description of the elemental power is be kind to animals.
So, but
Which can
on
mean
the
so many
inside-
different things.
Well, yeah, it's not even. I
It's
feel
not
like it's
animals.
just a directive. It's like, hey, be kind to animals.
So on the inside,
Yeah.
it's what you become a heart and you kill the enemy. Which is not an animal. Usually,
and
I
also-
don't think it works that way.
Also, don't say kill because Captain Planet does not kill. If you notice, he never
No.
does anything negative to any human.
that's Batman.
right. Batman doesn't kill either, but that's far from the truth. But Captain Planet, once you get to the boss and you break through the glass, they always surrender because Captain Planet doesn't. Violence isn't one of the elements.
Again,
Yeah,
lame.
He throws
Super
them in
lame.
jail instead of removing them from the earth.
Lame.
So, like we said, that first level is absolutely terrible.
It's
There's what
really
you think
bad.
is a boss that you come across, which is one of those AT-ATs.
Yeah,
from
it
Star Wars.
actually is.
That's what it
yes.
reminds me of.
And all you have to do is blow out its
The
legs.
legs.
I think it's got 2 on. But here's the thing: the music changes. It's a boss. You beat it, and then the stage continues.
Then you keep
Yeah.
going.
I
And
was
then
so
you come
upset.
across the boss again, and it's got another leg, and you defeat it the same way. And then the stage continues.
Yeah. And then you finally get to the section where all you have to do is fly past these little obstacles that are just these oil slicks that shoot up
no.
in the air.
And that's
you're
the
like,
final boss.
okay,
Final boss of the
okay,
game.
like I can just fly across the screen. That's easy. And then you realize that even with save states, you're going to spend more time passing this one obstacle than you might spend on the entire rest of the game together because it's impossible.
It's absolutely bad. But there's one thing that you could use at your disposal. I believe it's the B button. And it allows you, for some reason, to change directions of your EcoJet
Yeah,
and fly in
what?
the opposite direction.
Why?
It
I
was
never.
a really strange mechanic.
Yeah, for real though, don't ask why in this podcast, like
Yeah.
this episode, because like none of it has a real good answer.
It just wasn't
doesn't.
practical to do that ever.
On those oil slicks, you have to. I don't think you can get past it on its first rotation.
It's the only way to pause if you need to not run into something. And so you certainly had to use it, but whether they should have done it that way
Right.
is a total different question, and they probably
Right.
shouldn't have. Or done it but made it more meaningful. Like you flip and then you can fly the other way, but not that far. It kind of like stops you.
The screen keeps going. Yeah.
Yeah, and it follows you, but then it doesn't, and so it just does some really weird interactions with the left to right screen and the flipping your direction around. I was very confused by
And
many
here's
things,
a-
but by that especially.
Here's the thing, Nolan. You likely didn't get to the helicopter stage, so you're not flying the EcoJet all the time. On the different levels, you're flying a different
Right.
ship. It's a helicopter on the second stage. There's a
Submarine.
a submarine at a
Yeah,
different.
you got a
point.
submarine.
But on the helicopter stage, you're actually it's a race. You are racing to the end, and you have to beat these oil trucks. And you're using your rock ability to drop rocks in front of the trucks, and they slam into it, and it slows them down, right? But you have to get low down to the ground, and your helicopter flies faster. If you go up high, it flies slower, and you won't beat the oil truck. But there are trees in your way, so you have to fly up and then back down. You also then can use heart, Nolan, which you've wanted to use all along,
Mm-hmm.
and you use it over these yellow bears that you pass, because then it encourages that yellow bear to run towards the oil truck and get on the back, thus slowing the truck down. Of course.
Yellow bears.
And
That-
you can affect other animals and other levels as well. You can convince whales to fight on your behalf against ships later when you're in the submarine. You can use it as a weird kind of tractor beam on the elephant level to actually like pick up
Pick
and
them
move
up.
your elephants so
Yeah.
that you can get them safely to the game reserve. I mean, there's some depth here on that
Stop.
heart skill.
Don't say depth, you idiot.
Stop.
Yeah. The thing that frustrates me most, other than this game being a game and them like having an idea and executing it so poorly, is that I think one of the big things here is that I felt that the rules of the game were inconsistent. And I'll give you 2 examples. One we all slightly faced. So the trees in the first level are fine to fly past, completely fine. But like I said, on the second level with the helicopter, they will destroy your helicopter. So that's one problem. There's later in the game, there are these fans that either push or pull you. It's in the submarine stage, but there's no visible difference. So you either have to learn the pattern or just get lucky, and because if you run into anything, it's an instant kill. Those are 2 examples of how this game kind of just works its systems. They developed it in such a way that nothing is inconsistent, nothing makes sense. So you ask why, and there's no good answer to it, because the answer is like they were bad developers and designers.
Yes, and the other thing that is noticeable is that every stage feels like it's a different game. It feels like a different dev team developed that stage. Like there's no consistency, and I'm not even
all
just
equally
speaking
bad.
from the shmup versus like being Captain America inside right after. That's obviously different, like mechanics kind of, but yeah, the rules don't carry over, and it feels really janky every time in a different way.
Yeah, what frustrated me, not just as a fan of the series, but as a fan of good video games,
A fan?
is the wasted potential here. Because, yeah, waste is exactly what we're frustrated with this week. 5 unique powers should
Earth.
be an amazing linchpin for you to do some really creative stuff. It's your ability to have Mega Man kinds of moments where you have to counter specific bosses or do things in different ways, but there's optimizations or whatever else. Like, the concept should be so good. And you could have done that in a lot of different ways where, you have to conserve certain power on the first piece of a level to let you have the power you need as Captain Planet to use that power on the second level. Like, there's a million things you could have done. And yet it was just so weird and cookie cutter and generic. And even the animations of Captain Planet when he like turns into the different stuff, like he literally turns into a weird heart and it pulses when you're using that power. Come on.
Is that in the show?
No, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they were given the opportunity with a popular franchise to make a game that could have been so cool, and it was so not.
Aged.
That song sucks.
Well, it's not a Captain
not the
Planet
song.
song.
Yeah.
None of this music in this game has anything to do with Captain
No,
Planet.
I'm not saying that. That song sucks too.
Oh, if you
Okay.
aren't talking about Captain Planet,
I'm talking about
he's
that.
our hero.
I don't know
Gonna
that song.
take pollution down to zero. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
What
that's a
are
banger.
you doing, Kenny? I'm talking
Play
about
guitar.
the same
poorly.
song that plays constantly. It's terrible. And
In this game, yeah, it's awful.
yes, what did you think I was talking about?
I
We
thought you were
both thought you were
ragging
talking
on
about the theme song.
Captain Planet still.
After
'cause
y'all
you're
were like
wrong.
freaking out, I am. That song sucks too. All of this sucks. So that song's terrible. Secondly, this game's fugly. It's terrible.
Listen, it
No.
came out in 1991. That is not
So?
early NES. That's relatively late NES, or not late, but at least mid NES.
Later.
And it still looks appalling.
Dude,
Here's the thing.
yes.
There are things about it that don't look great. It is
of
NES,
it?
though. I think you guys are living in a Super Nintendo
Kenny,
world.
I'll
or
show you some
something.
NES games that came out before
No,
this.
there are
and you'll
some
be
beautiful
like,
NES
oh.
games, and I'm not saying this one is gorgeous. I think some of the cutscenes looked pretty good, and were kind of character accurate. And I didn't hate all of the visuals personally. I hated what they did with some of the animations. The game itself was absolutely terrible. I don't think it looked that bad. It did sound that bad, though.
I mean, what about the scrolling text? The cutscenes you're talking about?
Yeah,
they
it's not
just they just continue. I read it like
Yeah.
3 times. So I was like, it's the same sentence. What am I doing? I had to press start.
No, that's frustrating.
like what?
And it's a password system, and
Yes.
it's set up so that it, like, when you start the game, it asks for a password.
Yes.
Because,
Right,
like,
I
it's
hated that. It
it's
makes no
set up-
sense.
set up poorly. You get a password after each one, and they, like, forward the story a little bit. But by story, I mean, it's just like Hoggish Greeley is doing something bad. This person's doing something bad. This person's doing something bad. That's all. So, like, it's not like it's any kind of evolving story,
No.
which you wouldn't expect much from here, because Captain Planet was never all about the story anyways.
No.
Oh, no?
Yeah, it was pretty shallow.
No, it's not a great,
No-
not
no
a great,
character
robust
development?
story. You should check out the third arc. I think it was like the
Arc.
the Krillin arc. I don't know. It was
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. But I looked up. I wanted to see if there were other games from the IP during the time, because
Oh no.
on other like big kid IPs, they usually pump
Yeah.
out tons of games.
Yes.
I couldn't, other than the Genesis game that we've already mentioned, and the like all these games that came out right 91 and 92, those games that are all in this called the same thing, Captain Planet and the Planeteers. I couldn't find any other Captain Planet games.
I mean, this was big, like kid pop culture, early 90s, but it didn't have legs. Like Captain Planet wasn't around for a long time. It really wasn't. It was
there's so many more X-Men games, but like even Inspector Gadget I feel like has more games. Like this one, it did not have legs. I don't know if kids were just like, no, I'm not going to recycle, or if kids were like, I don't know what it was, but we thought it was cool, but did we just think it was cool for 6 months?
Yes.
Or maybe maybe they just made a bad game and then nobody played it because the game was bad, and so they were like, well, we're not making money on this, and moved on when it was their own fault.
Yeah.
No, there is no reality where there's a good Captain Planet game. No way.
There is one of those
There's
realities somewhere.
No. Yeah, what? Y'all will develop it and make it good? Make the heart power cool again? Get out of here.
Nolan, when this game got pulled last week and I told you the development team, you had an issue with it because the developer is Chris Gray Enterprises, and our experience is whenever there's a name of a person,
it's
like
either the president of Armenia,
Chris. Oh yeah, he created a game,
or it's some weird game.
Or it's edutainment, an angry mom that was like, I'll show you how to program.
Yeah.
But my point is, I do think that Kenny last name Enterprises could have done better than Chris Gray Enterprises.
No,
for sure.
Kenny could have made a better game out of this, absolutely.
I don't know. No.
Kenny would get into C++, and he would begin writing code.
Tinkering around?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might make a Captain Planet game for you.
You should start a fundraiser, Kickstarter.
For Kenny.
Kenny should start a Kickstarter
No, I'm not making a good game. I'll make it in I don't know, like Scratch or something.
Listen, I didn't need to stop saying listen because you're already listening. That's what we're doing. It's a podcast.
Listen.
But this game, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, you can get for $22 used, or
that's overpriced.
Hey, if you want it brand new, you can. It's selling for about $560 right now.
If you buy that,
easy money.
Desert Island game?
Going to hell.
Don't spend money on Steam summer sale. Spend money on Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Yikes.
I think Nolan should watch an episode and then come back and try to talk smack.
I'll never do that.
We should watch him watch an episode.
I'll quit immediately.
And we should let our listeners watch us watch him watch an episode.
Yeah. And then we can record that and let other YouTubers react to our listeners watching. Yeah. I give up.
You took it too far.
Much. Too far.
Final thoughts.
At the end of each and every one of our episodes, we determine whether or not the game gets our vote for New Game Plus status, which is our general thumbs up or thumbs down. It does require 2/3 of the vote to swing one way or the other. I'll begin by saying this is one of the best games we've ever played.
It's so good.
And the reverse of that is true. This is one of the worst games that I've ever played. I played it on the day of our recording last week, so right after we did the episode later that day, I pulled it up. I was looking forward to seeing what it was all about. Within about 10 minutes, I had no desire to ever play this game again.
Yeah.
I've never started a game and been disenfranchised so quickly.
So over it so quickly. Yeah.
Any game that we played, there's always been some interest. Let's figure out how bad it is or whatever, This is within 5 to 10 minutes. You realize how garbage of a game this is, how trash of a game this is. I would put this up there as one of the contenders for the worst games we played on the podcast. Top 3 for sure. It's absolutely bad, poorly developed. Chris Gray, you have a lot of apologizing to do. Captain Planet and the Planeteers is very, very bad. I went back to it. I didn't just play those 10 minutes. I played some more. I got through a few stages.
Fool.
It does not get better. If anything, it only gets worse, which is saying a lot. It is a bad, bad, bad game, and you shouldn't even play it for the fun of it. No New Game Plus for me. Kenny.
Yeah, I was going to get on and apologize to everybody for how poorly I did at the first play.
Which you did.
Which I did do very poorly, and I should generally always apologize anytime people watch me play video games. But that reality aside, I went back and played this more and was like, no, I'm justified in every reaction I had to this thing because it's hard, but it's bad. But it's not just like bad, it's also poorly done bad. And what makes it so much worse is how good it could have been. Both for like nostalgia reasons and for just the like kit that they were given here. Sure, you want a ship and a shoot 'em up like with multiple powers? Awesome. It's hard to do that and it not be at least a little bit fun or intriguing. And it wasn't. And so yeah, I'm fully in your camp, Dustin. Everything's bad about this one. We didn't even spend enough time talking about the parts where you are Captain Planet and how obnoxious his changing forms is for other terrible reasons, and how awkward the like floating fly platform paradigm is. Everything about this game is not good, and it breaks my heart because I love Captain Planet, but not the video game. No
well,
New Game Plus.
It breaks your heart, breaks my wind. Nolan, what do you say about this game?
I mean, it's no surprise that this game's trash, because who cares about Captain Planet? I mean, whoever cared about this? It's just... I mean, everything y'all have said. It's not a game. I think it is the worst game that we've played. I really think so. I thought about that this week. Like, does it really deserve that title? I think it might. It's just constantly changing on you if you do end up playing longer than... You said you came back to it. I didn't, obviously. I was smart. Quit after 10 minutes for the week and went back to my life. But it's the worst game that we play on podcast. It's trash. It's doo-doo. Hate it.
The thing is, I feel like if it would have not been so poorly designed on that first level, like you could get through it without too much difficulty, or if it wasn't too long, that it wouldn't be the worst we played. Still bad, but not the worst we played. But because of, like, on top of being a bad game, they make it an impossible game. It just takes it over the edge.
It's such an offensive intro level. It's just like, no,
I'm okay being mad about one or two things. When you make me mad about like 5 or 6 things, I just don't have the capacity to continue being mad. I just don't care at some point. It's just too much. And so I don't care about this game.
And all of that means Captain Planet and the Planeteers is not New Game Plus certified. But what did you think? We had 240 votes on YouTube. I don't know what people are doing. Maybe we should stop this because 12% said yes.
They're trolling. You know it. Those are trolls.
I think they mean yes, go watch the show.
Maybe they were
Chris
confused.
Gray just has thousands of YouTube accounts.
19% said no, but 69% have never played it before.
69?
Yeah.
Nice.
We had many write in. We had a few that wrote in some legitimate, thoughts on the game, but I don't think that it deserves that. So here's a few other thoughts of what people in our community said. Clint wrote in and he said, why? Gal in the corner wrote in and said, actually, factually, played this for all of 1 minute and noped out. I can't think of how to describe this. Take a side-scrolling shmup, but just really think through everything that makes it good and take a baseball bat to its kneecaps. Don't forget your barbed wire. No, NGP. Jesse the Jet said, there are much better licensed games from this era that are worth a play. Watch the cartoon. It's got LeVar Burton. And skip the game. The power is yours. Kronkalad said, this game is frustratingly difficult with unintuitive game design. No NGP. Sin Doctor said, this is an all-around blunder. Nothing about this game is good. Cecil said, it sure was a video game, I guess. And Dan said, I didn't play the game this week. Overall, my week was pretty nice. NGP for the week.
Nice. Hey, look, this is the most hated game. Even our community thinks so.
Our community so much wrote in because I think the amount of time that it took to write in was more than it took to actually play and experience and know how good or bad the game was.
You know what? We've played games that are less of a game, where it's just like, what am I looking at? But those weren't as bad as this because it is a game that is so bad. Yeah, everybody hates it. We hate this game.
So is this a new meme for the channel?
Yes.
Like, is this new worst game?
I hope not, because I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see a Captain Planet like emoji or anything. But like the heart emoji might take on a new meaning in the
just a really messed up Captain America's face or something like that.
Yeah, just like
Thank you for writing in. I know some of you gave some actual commentary. Go to our commentary channel on Discord. You can read some of that. Thought some of it was interesting or good. But you can write in each and every week to ngppodcast@gmail.com or hop into our Discord, our commentary channel there. We'd love to include your thoughts as a part of our show next week. But we're going to put aside Captain Planet and the Planeteers for good and forever. And we're going to randomly select, but not from our expansive retro master list. We are going to randomize from a much smaller pool because it is, again, a Patreon poll.
Hot dog.
Pool.
So you do know what hot dogs mean.
Huh?
We've got games on here like, here's the thing. A few of them band together, but then I think and it really is a good study about humanity. A few people band together and pitch a few games. So we still have a good amount of Fables in here. Yep. I think another game that I've seen a lot this time is Cave Story.
I love Cave Story.
Really? I don't know anything about Cave Story.
Oh, it's great.
But we've got Cave Story that was entered by Clint and Dan and Super Gamer Guy and Kakeo-san and Bro Jim.
Oh, wow.
A lot in there. But the majority of people just want us to play a game that they specifically have a connection to, but that I think no one else in our community or in the world would ever care about.
That's all right.
Talking about.
This is your chance to get that game in. This is 100% what it's designed for. Lean into your game, own it. I love it.
So Adam wants us to play the Three Stooges on the NES.
Oh my, that would be great. I love the Three Stooges.
Casey wants us to play Sweet Home for the NES or Castlevania for the NES.
Sweet
That's
Home
not a bad one.
NES.
Dom Bomb wants us to play Cyber Dogs.
Nope. Sorry.
Sounds good, huh? Corkster wants us to play Jets and Guns or Eastern Mind, The Lost Souls of Tong Nu.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Love that one.
I love that.
Or Kippo would like us to play a game maybe called Warcraft 2. I've heard that's really bad.
Oh my goodness.
From our much smaller pool of games, we are going to randomly select the game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days as a part of our Patreon pool right now. Has it been long enough where you two would welcome a traditional role-playing game?
No.
Traditional. What do you mean?
I'm talking about like your traditional JRPG from a company called Square.
No.
Hasn't been long enough yet.
No. Same.
We know you'd welcome it though.
You don't hate us.
No, I do hate.
No. You hate me?
This is an RPG developed by Square for the PlayStation in 1997. It's everything that I've ever wanted in my life.
Yeah, okay.
It's not Final Fantasy VII. We've already played that one before. I guess it could. No.
Yeah.
It's the 7th game in its series, but the first to be released on the PlayStation.
Okay.
I will use this right here to say it's so much fun because I've actually included a track or two from this game on the new PlayStation playlist that we're going to be putting out very soon. By the time this podcast goes live, it might even be live on our YouTube channel. It's a relaxing PlayStation music playlist. We've already had one. This is the sequel, yes.
Okay.
In fact, I believe... No, that's wrong. I was going to say I believe it starts the playlist, but it doesn't matter because the game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days is Saga Frontier.
We've played this. For sure.
We haven't.
For sure. Sounds so familiar.
No, just because it sounds so like typical.
It's because we played a game with the word Saga in it
Guys.
like 2 weeks ago.
We played Panzer Dragoon Saga, we played Mario and Luigi Super Saga, and we played Sigma Star Saga. But this is Saga
Exactly.
Frontier.
I think I can't do it. I just can't.
You can. It's gonna be good. I absolutely
I know, but
love
it's a
this.
JRPG.
Right.
And I play them all the time.
No, you don't.
Because of the
you've got it
podcast,
in
yes,
you.
we do.
You've
Listen.
got it in you, Nolan.
I said listen again. I'm an
got the
idiot.
music in
This
me.
game was submitted by only one person. So this
One
is that
guy?
thing where but
Woohoo.
I think many people will like it because this is one of those classic ones. Nolan,
It's
I've
one guy.
included on both of our PlayStation playlists multiples of the songs, and you love OSTs. You'll love it.
I know, and they're always.
Okay.
I know they're always good. Yes, it's
Yeah.
Square and it's JRPG.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
If
Joseph.
it's-
Joseph is the one who submitted this game this week. You're like, why'd you say Joseph? He submitted Saga Frontier for us to play. So
Well, thanks.
yeah, find a copy
Hopefully.
of Saga. Find a copy of Saga Frontier along with me, Nolan, Kenny,
Not me.
Captain Planet, Captain America, Hoggish Greedley, and Joseph.
What
and
is
did I already
that?
say Joseph? And play along with us this week.
Well, I'll be in Discord. I don't know if I'll
you
be playing.
won't.
I'll be in
Neither of you
Discord.
are ever in Discord.
Dustin will be in Discord. Kenny won't be, but you should still come to hang out on our Discord server. You can leave commentary on Saga Sigma. Discord.gg/newgameplus.
Here's a list of people who love the Earth. Bro Jim, Garlisle, love the Earth the most. People who also love the Earth, but not quite as much. Adam, Marley, Antonin, Ben, Brunt, Captain Protein, Dan, DH Browser, Francesca, Gimbin, Jerry, Joey, Jordan, J. Robert, Justin, Clint, Nicknack, Corey, Maxima, Mr. Lattes, Novel, Sage, and Shauna, Thomas, Unbelievable, William, and Zion. By Love Earth, we actually mean they're producers of our podcast and or directors, in the case of the aforementioned pair. And we're appreciative of them. Thanks,
So
guys.
appreciative. Thank you. You
Thanks.
can follow us on our social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. All of those links are in our show notes. Listen directly on any podcast provider of your choice. Make sure you subscribe so that you are the first to get new NGP episodes. And while you're at it, please leave a kind rating and review. Our video episode was edited by our friend Dylan. Our audio episode was edited and produced by our friend Dan Willett. Join us next week as we play the Patreon poll selected Saga Frontier. Until then, I'm still fire.
I'm Earth. Probably
Sigma.
not.
You are hard, and with our powers
Your
combined,
heart.
we have been and are and will continue to be New Game Plus.